Good afternoon. I am Andre Caldwell. Kathy Keating, a member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, and I have just slipped out of the 2022 Oklahoma Hall of Fame announcement luncheon to share the 95th class in real time as they are being announced upstairs.
That's right, Andre. This is so exciting, and it's a great day for several wonderful Oklahomans. Upstairs, members of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, as well as the Board of Directors and special guests, have gathered to welcome and congratulate the incoming class, and we have someone just off stage that will be texting you the names and the bios of the class of 2022 as they are announced.
While we are waiting for the announcements to begin, I think we should take the opportunity to thank Bob Burke for his support in making this Facebook Live announcement possible, as well as serving as a luncheon sponsor for today's event.
Thank you, Bob, for all you do. We also want to thank our presenting sponsors for the Oklahoma Hall of Fame induction ceremony, the Chickasaw Nation and the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Both nations support the organization all year long in so many, many ways.
And last year, we had several generous donors make multi-year commitments to serve as production partners. Thanks again to the Chickasaw Nation and the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, as well as the Cressup Family Foundation, Mr. Robert Funk, and Mr. and Mrs. Herman Minders.
On behalf of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, thank you to these generous donors, and thanks in advance to those who will be helping us soon.
Kathy, I'm feeling a buzz in my pocket. Looks like they are making the first announcement of the class of 2022. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure would. Thanks, Andre. Okay, a second generation Tulsan, Chester Chet Cadieux III, Chairman and CEO of Quick Trip Corporation, regional gas line and convenience store operation, founded in 1958 by his father, Chester Cadieux II, with annual sales of more than $10 billion. Quick Trip operates 938 stores across 16 states through the efforts of its 23,000 remarkable employees. Quick Trip Corporation is recognized by Forbes as the 34th largest privately held company in the United States. Cadieux attended Jenks Public Schools from kindergarten through 12th grade before graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management from the University of Tulsa in 1989. He began his full-time career with Quick Trip on the graveyard shift that same year and rose through the ranks to store manager, real estate manager, and vice president of sales before being named president and CEO in 2002 and chairman and CEO in 2006. This August, he will celebrate 33 years of service with Quick Trip. Outside of his responsibilities with Quick Trip, Cadieux has served as chairman of the Tulsa River Parks, the Tulsa Metro Chamber of Commerce, and the Tulsa Area United Way, as well as stints on the boards of the National Association of Convenience Stores, NACS, the University of Tulsa, and Tulsa Community Foundation. He currently serves on the board of directors for Sheets Inc. of Altoona, Pennsylvania, and Bank of Oklahoma, NA, and the George Kaiser Family Foundation, both of Tulsa. Cadieux is married, has 2 children, and enjoys auto racing and snow skiing.
Congratulations, Mr. Cadieux. Oh, looks like the next honoree is Dr. Pamela McCauley. As a 16-year-old graduate from Oklahoma City's Douglas High School, Pamela McCauley earned an associate's degree at Rose State College and her bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in industrial engineering at the University of Oklahoma, the first African-American woman in the state of Oklahoma to earn a doctorate degree in engineering. Her academic career includes faculty appointments at the University of Central Florida, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and as a Jefferson Science Fellow at the U.S. Department of State. There, she led research to introduce innovation into the HIV and AIDS healthcare service delivery process in developing nations. In 2017, she was selected to lead the Innovation Corps as a National Science Foundation Program Director. McCauley's entrepreneurial endeavors led her to launch 2 engineering companies and provide support to the Department of Defense, NASA, and private companies throughout the nation. She has been recognized as a Fulbright Scholar and is a highly sought-after scientific expert. A globally recognized voice in human engineering, she is the author of more than 100 scientific articles and an internationally utilized ergonomics textbook. She has received numerous awards, including Technologist of the Year and election as a Fellow in the Institute of Industrial Systems Engineers and the Association for Medical and Biological Engineers. In 2019, she was appointed as the Associate Dean of Academic Programs, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Wilson College of Textiles at North Carolina State University in Raleigh, where she also leads the Women's Ergonomics Footwear Research Team. Dr. Painela McCauley.
I can't wait to meet her. I think I hear your phone buzzing.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. With roots in eastern and western Oklahoma, Bob Blackburn graduated from Southwestern State College with a degree in history before earning his master's and doctorate degrees in history from Oklahoma State University. At the time of his graduation from OSU in 1979, he already had published his first of 26 books and discovered the new field of historic preservation. That same year, he began a career in public history as editor of the Chronicles of Oklahoma, the Journal of the Oklahoma Historical Society. In 1989, he was named deputy director and a decade later became executive director. Under his leadership, with a widening circle of mentors, colleagues, and partners, Blackburn developed a new business plan for Oklahoma Historical Society operations that included a combination of state investment, private donations, and self-supporting sustainability. Among his accomplishments are the Oklahoma History Center, the Oklahoma Route 66 Museum, the Cherokee Strip Regional Heritage Center, the Encyclopedia of Oklahoma History and Culture, the Battle of Ouachita Monument as part of the National Park Service, and the Gateway to Oklahoma History. A rapidly growing digital universe of newspapers, photographs, manuscripts, and documents accessible to everyone at no cost. Blackburn's contributions have been honored by the Oklahoma Center for Nonprofits, Leadership Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, Putnam City Schools, Southwestern Oklahoma State University, OSU, the Journalism Hall of Fame, and the Higher Education Hall of Fame, among countless others. He is married to educator and former state legislator Debbie Blackburn. Together, they have one son, Bo, daughter-in-law, Tori, and 2 grandsons, Bodie and Wayton. Now retired, Blackburn remains busy writing books, designing museum exhibits, and sharing his encyclopedic knowledge of Oklahoma history. Dr. Bob Blackburn.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob. All right, looks like our next honoree is from Southeast Oklahoma. Sue Ann Arnall grew up during the Cultural Revolution of the 60s and 70s in Poteau. In her hometown, she had the formative experience of witnessing her best friend's parents, Dr. and Mrs. John Montgomery, establish the LaFleur County NAACP. After graduating from the University of Tulsa College of Law, she was recruited by the predecessor to Continental Resources to establish and manage the oil and gas marketing department. There, she enjoyed a successful career while raising her 2 beloved daughters, Jane and Hillary. Following her departure from the oil and gas industry, Arnall set her focus on a new aim: to level the playing field for marginalized individuals by lowering barriers to social and economic mobility. Informed by her early experience and with the recognition that not all Oklahomans enjoy the same opportunities, she created the Arnall Family Foundation in 2015. Since its founding, Arnall has invested more than $350 million, primarily to improve Oklahoma's foster care system and reduce its unprecedented incarceration rate. To meet the gaps and needs in the current system, she guided the foundation to create the Diversion Hub, which already has assisted thousands in permanently escaping the criminal legal system to lead productive lives. Arnall also serves on the Oklahoma County Jail Trust, leading efforts for a new state-of-the-art facility that meets the government's responsibility for public safety while also providing necessary diversion and rehabilitation services. Ancillary to her work, she strives to educate the public on policies that contribute unjust treatment and trap disenfranchised individuals in a cycle of incarceration. Ann Arnall.
What a great class so far. And we are keeping up very well with the announcements upstairs. From Fort Cobb, Roger Hardesty is the founder and president of the Hardesty Company, a diversified real estate developer and builder who began making his mark on Tulsa in 1959. Hardesty began his career in concrete finishing, expanded to single-family homes, followed by multifamily housing units, industrial buildings, commercial retail centers, office buildings, and hotels. With an entrepreneurial spirit, he developed, built, leased, and managed more than 30,000 multifamily units in his career, beginning with 19 units in 1964. Hardesty owned and operated Mid-Continent Concrete, the largest ready-mix concrete operation in Northeast Oklahoma and Northwest Arkansas. He also founded and operated over 25 different business ventures, including Alliance Transportation, BizJet International, and the Quarry Landfill. Inspired by a love of flying, Hardesty founded United States Aviation in 1987. Today, the Hardesty family owns and operates one of the country's premier independent fixed-base operator facilities, worldwide aircraft charter services, and Black Hawk helicopter aircrane businesses. As a pilot, Hardesty has logged in excess of 14,000 flight hours with 15 jet ATP type ratings, including the Gulfstream G550, Northrop F5A, and a Sikorsky Black Hawk helicopter. He also has performed in selective air shows and television commercials in his Northrop F5A. In 2005, Hardesty and his wife Donna established the Hardesty Family Foundation with a focus on Tulsa area nonprofits. He credits his wife, daughters Debbie and Michelle, and grandsons Paul, Alex, and Connor as his greatest inspirations.
Oh man, Boomer Sooner, here we go. In her 28th season as the University of Oklahoma head coach and National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Hall of Fame inductee, Patty Gasso has molded the OU softball program into a national powerhouse and permanently placed herself among the elite college softball coaches in the country. Under her leadership, the Sooners have won 5 national championships and are one of only 3 programs in NCAA history to win more than 2 national titles. She's led the Sooners to the Women's College World Series 14 times during her tenure, and, in the process, advanced to the postseason in each of her 27 seasons. With 31 seasons as a head coach to her name, Gasso has a career collegiate coaching record of 1,497 wins, 400 losses, and 3 ties, and holds an overall record of 1,336 wins, 341 losses, and 2 ties at the University of Oklahoma, both winning percentages at nearly 80%. She has more Big 12 wins, 359 to be exact, than any coach in the league's history, and has more than twice as many overall wins as any other coach in OU history. The Sooners have claimed 14 Big 12 regular season titles, including an unprecedented 10 straight since 2012, and 7 championship titles under her direction. Gasso's Sooners have finished second or higher 21 different times in the 25 years since the Big 12's inception. And the high standards she sets for her athletes is evident in the classroom, with more than 150 earning academic all-conference honors and 9 becoming academic All-Americans. Gasso makes her home in Norman with her husband Jim and enjoys time with her sons and their families. Patty Gasso.
Congratulations, Coach Gasso. Okay, here we go. Joy Harjo is an internationally renowned performer and writer of the Muskogee Nation and the 23rd Poet Laureate of the United States, the first Native American U.S. Poet Laureate in history, and only the second poet to be appointed to 3 terms. Born in Tulsa, she left home to attend high school at the Institute of American Indian Arts and began writing poetry with the University of New Mexico's Native Student Organization, the Kiva Club. She earned her Master's of Fine Arts degree at the Iowa Writers Workshop. Harjo is the author of 9 books of poetry, including American Sunrise, an Oklahoma Book Award winner, and Conflict Resolution for Holy Beings, which was shortlisted for the Griffin Prize. She has published award-winning children's books, plays, screenplays, anthologies, and 2 memoirs. Her memoir, Crazy Brave, earned her the PEN USA Literary Award and the American Book Award. Her highly acclaimed Poet Warrior was released last year. As a musician and performer, Harjo has produced 7 award-winning music albums, including Winding Through the Milky Way, earning her a NAMI for Best Female Artist of the Year, and I Pray for My Enemies, her most recent. Harjo's honors include the Ruth Lilly Prize for Lifetime Achievement from the Poetry Foundation, the Academy of American Poets Wallace Stevens Award, and NEA Tulsa Artists and Guggenheim Fellowships. She is a Chancellor of the Academy of American Poets, Board Chair of the Native Arts and Cultures Foundation, and the first artist in residence at the new Bob Dylan Center in Tulsa. Joy Harjo.
All right, looks like I got our next one. Our final honoree is a posthumous induction. Born Claude Russell Bridges in Lawton, Leon Russell was an internationally celebrated American musician and songwriter. With 6 gold records to his credit, he played an integral role in hundreds of best-selling pop music records over his 60-year career. With unique talent, he mastered all genres, including rock, blues, country, bluegrass, and gospel. Russell attended Tulsa's Will Rogers High School and formed the group The Fencemen with a fellow classmate. It was during this time that he took the name Leon from the fake ID he used to get into clubs he was legally too young to perform in. Playing the piano since the age of 4, it was after his move to Los Angeles that Russell began working as a pianist on recordings of many notable artists of the 1960s, including Jan and Dean and the Beach Boys. By the end of the decade, Russell was an accomplished arranger and songwriter, and by 1970 became a solo recording artist. Russell's collaborations are recognized as some of the most successful in music history. He recorded 33 albums and more than 430 songs. His A Song for You, released in 1970, has been recorded by more than 100 artists, including Amy Winehouse, Michael Bublé, The Carpenters, Ray Charles, Willie Nelson, and Whitney Houston. On his first solo album that same year, Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison played backup among countless other notable artists. Prior to his death in 2016, Russell was presented for induction by his friend and fellow musician Sir Elton John to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Leon Russell. And that is the outstanding Oklahoma Hall of Fame class of 2022.
Andre, this is an amazing class representing Oklahoma as a whole in such diverse fields of work. As a member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, I know well what is in store for the honorees leading up to their induction in November. And that night, oh my golly, standing on stage, receiving Oklahoma's highest honor surrounded by family, friends, and colleagues will truly be one of the greatest nights of their lives. And for Leon Russell's family, what a tribute.
Even with these brief introductions, I find myself feeling so much prouder to be an Oklahoman. I can't wait to learn more about them at the 95th annual induction ceremony. We should probably let everyone know the date and location. The 2022 Oklahoma Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held on the evening of Thursday, November 17th at the Cox Business Convention Center in Tulsa. So mark your calendars now.
It's already on my calendar, Andre.
Well, Kathy, let's get back upstairs. I would hate for someone to have taken my dessert.
Me either.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and you can always find the most up-to-date information at oklahomahof.com.
See you in November.